everyone.
This is how we start every single time.
Sorry, we don't know who was going to speak first. We're pointing fingers at each other, and so it was really funny.
So you cracked.
I correct. I'm old and crazy and senile, so welcome to
Fika for life.
My name is Edward Thomas, and my co-host is
Linh Nguyen. Hey guys.
Hey everyone. So we're back.
We're back.
And it's really good. We see that we're gaining in popularity.
Yeah, more people.
We will reach 100,000 this year, so that's going to be great.
Well, it's Corona, man. People just, what should I do?
They don't have anything better to do. Listen to two crazies. Oh.
But you know what's fun? When I talk to people who listen to our podcast, they're always like, when's the next episode coming? Like, I've listened to all episodes. And I'm like, whoa, there are a lot of episodes. But
I know, really. Yeah, you really don't have anything to do. But that's okay. We like people who don't have anything better to do with their time.
Yeah, that's great.
Us.
Listen to us.
Let us be your drug.
No side effects except maybe, I don't know, insomnia.
Well, until you see us. And then you'll be like, I love you, please, let me marry you. But like, stay back, sorry.
Talking about marrying.
I know. Well, we have so many secrets to tell today. Okay, Lynn, go, because we have a very special topic today. We might have to take 2 episodes on this because we need to dog somebody.
Okay, but actually it's not that fun, but I tell you that because I got to hear that story and then I was really upset about it, and I told Ed, and then he thought that this is a good thing to share with you guys. So I know someone who told me the story of how they ended up in the life situation that they have now. So this woman, she's from an Asian country. She was together with a Swedish guy for 11 years.
Okay, I'm adding sound effects just so we can make this juicier. So,
and they were all like planned up for a wedding. The wedding date was set. Like the venue was booked. The dress was bought. Everything was settling down. Suddenly she finds out she's pregnant, 4th month pregnant. You're like, oh, wow, that's perfect. Everything is happy. What happened is that guy suddenly disappears. And she's like, what happened is that he apparently met someone else, a Swedish lady, who is a bit older than her.
We're about to go ghetto here, beat some people up.
Who has 2 kids of her own.
Wow.
And he said he just realized what he wanted in a relationship with that new lady, that they were not compatible because they're from different cultures.
Because he just found out.
Yeah, after 11 years.
Yeah. You're from Asia. Sorry, I didn't realize that.
So it ended up with that she had to move out. She had to get help because she was pregnant. She had to go back to her home, or she gave birth here in Sweden. She get home to her home country to get help with taking care of the kid because she had no family here in Sweden. So she went back. She had to leave the kid for some while to get back to get a new job because, she moved away from that dude. So she got a new job, and then she plans now to get the kid back. But the thing is with that ex-boyfriend of hers, let's
just call him Loser.
Loser. So Loser said that, or refuses to pay child support except for the bare minimum, which is as much as child subsidization in Sweden, 1,500 crowns. That's the bare minimum that the state requires of you.
And does he have a full-time job?
And he has a full-time job.
In Sweden?
In Sweden.
Mr. Loser's about to get popped in the eye. I'm telling you.
And apparently, he calls the kid every other day. And he claims he's going to be such a great father once the kid is here. And I was thinking I don't think so.
Here's your dad who rejected you. Let me just tell you.
Here's your dad who refused to take care of your mom when she was carrying you. Did not help your mom when she just gave birth.
Strike 2.
Refuses to pay for you when you were an infant.
Strike
or even
3.
Helping your mom out or whatever.
Oh.
And another thing that's totally crazy about the story is that the other lady, she was totally aware that Loser was in a committed relationship, expecting a child, about to get married. She was just actively pursuing this guy with love letters and just like drawing him in. And this other lady, she was telling her to back off and telling, we are having a thing going on here. You gotta back off. You have 2 kids of your own. Why don't you take care of them and leave us alone?
Exactly.
But no, that ain't happening.
See, Sister Friend, she needs some help.
Woo.
When she gets back there with her son, we got to put her into the group.
Her
here.
daughter.
That's her daughter. Okay.
And I was like, after I
Wow.
heard the story, I was so upset. Like, I was so upset. And then people told me like, well, it's really hard, but you shouldn't get so upset because it's like other people's lives. I'm like, but it's so much injustice in this whole story. I can't take it.
And people who said that, they're just already showing that they have a heart of ice.
I'm like, there's so much injustice in this poor kid. I mean, she will come to she hasn't seen her mom for 1/3 of her life.
Wow.
Like for 6 months. The kid is really young. She doesn't speak Swedish. So when she comes to Sweden, she spends maybe a month with her mom that she hasn't seen for 6 months. She doesn't know anyone in Sweden.
Wow.
And then she's going to be in school, like in kindergarten, full time. And every other week, she's going to be shipped off to some man who says he's her father. And if that man lives with that lady, oh my, I would never let my kid be there at some point.
This is like so wrong on like 10,000 different levels, okay? This is like the worst that could possibly happen. I'm not frustrated. Yes, I am.
I mean, it's not about judging people.
Yes, it is.
No, I mean, everything, like people get divorced, they split up, whatever. But those are things that are so unjust.
First,
so much injustice.
Let's unpackage this here for our listeners, because for some of you people who may not understand why this is so upsetting to us, let's just start. First, here's this girl. She comes here from Asia. She meets a Swedish guy. He drags her on for 11 years. Mm-hmm. It takes him 11 years to decide, no, I want to be with a Swedish mother who's already got 2 kids because that's what I really want. And it takes him 11 years to finally have his 2 brain cells to make a connection. And then not even have the decency to say, hey, you know what? I don't think we should be together. Now he goes on and finds one. But instead, he's like, well, I've been getting all this love on the side. And so I don't even need to be alone. I don't even need to go through the grieving process. I'm just like, I got a new bottle of Coca-Cola. Get rid of the old one. Get a new one.
And I mean, he realized that when that girl got pregnant.
Yeah. It's like,
and the wedding, everything was set.
You know what it was? He liked the sex as long as he knew it wasn't going to be a baby. And then all of a sudden he's like, nah.
For 11 years. I'm like,
I don't think I want any more of that because it's going to be all changed.
What? But I mean, that lady that had us 2 kids already. That's the only thing he knows, or what? Is that, I mean, he doesn't want to have kids?
Maybe he doesn't want to have babies.
Well, then he should have told her before.
I'll meet you again in 3 years when it's not. Maybe that's why he's interested now.
In that other lady?
No, like in the first one.
Uh-huh.
Because he said he wants to be a good dad because now it's not a baby anymore.
What do you mean?
So he has like baby phobia.
Okay, you're making really not good case.
There are men out there who have such a lack of a sense of responsibility that a newborn baby terrifies them because it means they can't continue to be boys.
Well, it didn't change my husband. I mean, we have 2 kids. And he's doing his fair share, though. He's doing his fair share.
I'm not even going there because I like your husband. So I'm stepping out of the poop pile on that one and just washing my shoes off and just like, we'll have to talk to him privately.
It's not about him. It's not about him. It's about our loser. about our loser. And I think the injustice is just that it feels like she has to suffer all the consequences.
Yeah.
And he just gets away.
Because ladies, if you pick a bad man, the crap doesn't fall on him. It usually falls on you.
Yeah. And I'm like, that's unfair.
Just telling you. Just telling you. No, but I think in this case, you have a guy who is
a-hole.
Okay.
Beep.
And we're supposed to be like Christian people, so we don't say the words like a-hole. We say butthole.
Okay.
That's much better. That's more Jesus-like.
Okay, sorry.
No, but yeah. I know some people say, you cannot possibly be a pastor. Your mouth is filthy. You need to wash your mouth out with soap. Yes, I do. That's why,
every single day.
that's why I have a Jesus who died on the cross for me and gives me forgiveness. But anyway, and I'm not making that cheap. I just, I don't know where I'm at today. Lynn, you gave me sugared again. I'm like all sugared up. I feel like really.
I'm an enabler. What can I do?
I know. I'm a taker. So I'm like, yes, give me more sugar. Woo! Okay. But here we have this really bad situation of a man who is not really, he's not really owning up to his responsibility.
No, because he doesn't even pay. He doesn't even
Yeah.
share the financial burden. And I think that's the bare minimum. The bare minimum is that.
And if you have a full-time job, when I moved to Sweden, I have a daughter and she stayed in the States, and all I had was $1,500, and half of that went to her.
Oh, wow.
Not
That's not much.
No, not $1,500, 1,500 crowns. That's 100. That's all
1,500
because I had no job, and I was like, I moved here. Our money went like a half a year was like all gone.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And the government only gives you, because I had to go to school and everything. Like, you only get 1,500 crowns a month. That's what we had for 5 years.
Wow.
And I was just like,
that's why you're traumatized and just throw your money out of the window.
Rather than now, I'm just like, I better buy everything now because it might be 1,500 crowns a month again, and then I don't have anything. I'm like, okay. But anyway, that's another slide issue. But I think so we have this issue of here you have a woman, because I always think women have sisterhood.
I wished.
And women you say oh, look at that man. I think he's fine. Look at his booty. But okay, well he belongs to someone else. I'll just back down. And especially when the girl who's with him
is pregnant.
What she tells the girl,
yeah.
Hey,
back
sorry,
off.
Back down. He's like, we're in, and she's like, that makes it more exciting. I love the cookie that everyone else has. Actually, the cookie that someone else has been licking on. That's,
the cookie that is expecting another mini cookie.
Because we have to put it in context. Here's the cookie when, so she goes to the girl and she's like, listen, here's the cookie. I know you want the cookie. So she licks the cookie and says, do you still want it? She's like, even more so now. Love it. Extra spittle just hanging off the cookie.
When I heard that, I was thinking in the culture nowadays where everyone's about feminism and women and those bad men, blah, blah, blah.
That was not
I was thinking
feminist.
this is the most unfeminist thing you can do, to snatch someone else's guy, especially when they're expecting a baby. I don't get that woman's thinking. I just get so upset. And the girl told me that the guy's family told him, choose whoever makes you happy. What?
You know what? Okay. Now. Oh. See, for all of our Swedish listeners, I'm sorry, but I just have to make a comment now about Swedish society. This sort of a lame lack of morality.
There's no lack of morality. There's no morality.
If I would have gone to my mom, hey, Mom.
I was thinking to divorce Annette now.
I know that Annette and I have been together for a long time, but I met this other person, and now I know that's what I really want. My mother would be like, and? So I'm thinking I'm going to leave Annette so I can be with this other woman. My mother would be like, where is my belt? She's like,
I got to beat you over the head.
Yeah, she's like, obviously you have lost your mind. Have you become a fool? What is wrong? No, you will not leave your wife to be with another woman. Yeah, I did not raise you to be immoral, Edward Lamar Thomas III. It's like, ooh. Exactly. My mom would not be going just pick whoever makes you happy. Golly. That's oh, God.
There's just so, and
Wow.
I think I told her I was so sorry that this was her experience of Swedish culture.
Well,
But I heard several people who come from other countries and married into the Swedish society, and their in-laws stink.
Yep.
Not all of them, but I mean,
lot of them.
I have pretty cool in-laws.
Yeah.
Things. Yeah.
Me
And
too.
you seem to also have
Yeah.
really great in-laws, but I think many people I met and talked to, they have horrible in-laws.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, it doesn't make this life in Sweden nicer.
But I think someone should actually do a study, because I believe that when people move here from another country, first it's a culture shock to move to Sweden. And then I think that the statistics show that most cross-cultural relationships with a Swedish person don't work out. The majority of them end in divorce.
Really? Do
Yeah.
you you have numbers on that, or do
Yeah,
you?
we're talking about like 75%.
Oh
Yeah.
man!
Yeah.
Don't get married
Don't get
outside
mar-
your culture.
No, marry outside your culture. Just don't marry a Swede.
Okay.
So
Do you think it's something in the Swedish culture that
Yeah.
enforces that?
yeah.
The lack of morality.
The lack of morality. No, but I think it's several things. I think that that the whole idea of like fighting for something, like having to struggle for something, is so. I mean, we live in a socialist country where everyone's sort of expecting someone else to do stuff for you, so that people grow up without this sense of having to struggle. You don't have to struggle for anything here.
Yeah.
I mean, if I don't get bad grades, I mean, if I get bad grades in school,
But
I
you
can
can make
still-
up for it later.
or I could just not.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who not graduated high school, they still get a job in a place. I mean,
I know
I
people
go
like that.
I can go to Socialen,
Yeah.
to the social aid, and they'll give me a place to stay. I mean, they'll keep me at the bare minimum.
Yeah.
But
I live.
I don't have to.
I won't be homeless.
Yeah, exactly. And so for a lot of people, they're like, "Ooh, there you go." And we have that system here where it doesn't. Like if I go to college, it doesn't necessarily mean I'll get a better job.
No.
But in
There's
other,
inflation here.
yeah,
in
but in
Sweden.
other countries, you get a college degree, you're guaranteed most of the time
and
a
it
better life.
costs a
Yeah,
lot.
Well, it costs a lot too. Yeah, yeah. Here it's like free,
So-
you pay for your books and that's all. and you would think that would make people, but no, people just don't appreciate what they have here. So we're too spoiled, and I think that this is a culture where people. Like because of
Don't
things like
struggle.
because of like jantelag and stuff like that people feel like they just want to do the minimum.
Yeah.
What's the least that they have to do? Like what's the least amount of effort I have to put in at work for the least amount of hours for the maximum amount of pay?
Whoa.
What's the least? What
But
do I have to
that's
do at
not
school?
everyone, though.
No, but it's pretty prevalent.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, when I group projects when I was at the university.
Oh my gosh! Please don't remind me. That's a totally new episode.
Oh, we should talk about group projects.
I mean, I'm studying again now, so don't open that wound.
You mean people who don't want to carry their share of the load and just sit back and glide along? And you got no, see, they're part of the loser group there, and they need to be
But
slapped.
what if you're taking the side from the men in the world?
Yes.
What are your comments on this situation from a man's perspective?
From a man's perspective, a real man, first, if you've been together with someone for 11 years, you don't just dump them for someone else, because that's what boys do. Little boys, when you're in high school, and the little boys say, "Oh, this girl likes me, and now this girl likes me," and he's jumping around like a wet dog or something, But a man you should be able to
loyal.
count. Yeah, you should be able to count. A man should be like a dog. You should.
I was feeling
loyalty, and you should be able to count on the person. I mean, why be together with someone for 11 years if now you're all of a sudden just going to go off and find someone else?
for me, from a woman's perspective, I just wonder if she tried to pin him down, asking, "So is this getting somewhere? Are we getting married at some point?" Because I would never be together with someone for so long and not get married, because it feels like you're waiting for something that, and it might not happen. And what will happen if that is not
Good
happening?
insight, yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously, if he had really had any intention of marrying her, he would have taken.
Yeah.
We're engaged for 11 years because
Some people do that.
I know.
I don't know why, but
and that's something that's really Swedish, I feel.
yeah, to be
Because
engaged.
if I was with someone and I'm like, hey, maybe we've been together for a couple of years, so we get married. No, let's just wait.
For
What
what?
are you waiting for what? Don't you know now? Are you
We're
stupid?
waiting to get separate, to
Yeah, I'm like, what do
find
you-
someone better.
Yeah, I'm like, I'll keep you around until maybe somebody in the A category shows up. I don't know. But I think that, and that's a really valid point that you bring up. It could be, since they had already planned the wedding and everything. I mean, you go that far. You're engaged. Now you're planning the wedding. We're going to get married. And then
Yeah.
you walk away. I think that what happened was he didn't really want to get married to her. He wanted to have sex with her.
Yeah.
So he wanted to enjoy the, hey, fun, but he didn't want the commitment part. And so when another woman shows up in his life, which gives him an out, now I can escape from under the commitment And because he's not married to this other person, is he?
No.
See? So that's his pattern. His pattern, his default is find a woman with whom I can have sex with.
Use her.
With whom I can use for my own pleasure. But not tie myself to her. So that in case I need to leave, I can go find someone else.
So that's so messed up because the risk is on her. I mean, she got pregnant.
Yeah.
It wasn't the other way around. Like, she got pregnant. And she wanted, obviously, to keep the baby, which I think is good. But he
Why
doesn't.
did she get pregnant after 11 years, though?
Well, I don't know. Maybe she thought, like, oh, we're getting married anyway. I'm over 30. What? I don't know. I don't know why.
I would have, I waited that long.
Maybe she thought,
sure.
now he agreed to get married, so I think it's time for a kid.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I always feel it's strange for me when people just get kids and don't get married, because I think if you can't get the marriage thing down, you shouldn't get kids.
Yeah.
Like, that's my opinion.
I like your opinion.
So.
Sounds like a good opinion.
Because, like, to be together with someone, like, in that commitment, it's a lot. And then to have kids is even more.
Yeah.
Like, even if you say, oh, you love your kids, blah, blah. I mean, there's a lot of sacrifice there. It's not like all happy.
Really?
It's wiping butts every single day.
My kids wiped their own butts when they came out. I gave them like a box. They're like, oh, okay.
Wiping their butts every single day. If I just have like a meal, you just sit down, it's nice, like, Mom! From the toilet or whatever. And
You
you're
have
like,
small kids.
yeah, but that time, I mean, it's also a time of sacrifice. Or you sleep at night, you have something important to be in the morning, and your kids just come in the middle of the night and just want something, and you're like, ah.
Yeah.
Yep.
They usually just want to wake up. They just want to wake you up. See me? You're not looking at me. Okay, now I can go back to sleep. Are you watching me? It's like, little monsters. No, but so I think that now when we're sitting down there really actually thinking through this, so she actually got involved. And the thing, okay, ladies, if a guy is unwilling to make that commitment and you've been together for more than 3 years,
Get out.
that's a signal. That's a flag. If you find that whenever you bring up the subject of marriage, he doesn't seem thrilled about it.
Get out.
He doesn't want to commit to you. And this is how guys are. Guys don't usually talk about what they really feel, what they want to do. They usually just, what happens is they think about it and then they go out and do it. So
There's
no conversation. It's like, and so what happens is a lot of girls, because, I've been waiting finally for him to commit to me, finally commit. Oh, now he commits.
Forever.
And then you think just because he said, okay, we can get married, that
Doesn't mean that he wants it.
Yeah, and so
maybe just nag yourself to it.
Until he puts the ring on your finger and says, I do. If you've been waiting to have kids until he makes a commitment, the commitment is when he says, I do, and he goes, now I pronounce you man and wife. That's when you have the commitment. Anything before that, you don't have anything.
No.
So, don't drop your guard or lower your values or whatever for a person who's unwilling to commit. Because if you have a kid with someone like that, he's not committed to you. He's not going to be committed to your kid.
No, but he said, I'm going to be a great father. I'm like, you are not even a great husband, boyfriend,
if he was a
whatever.
great father, then he would have made sure that his daughter didn't have to stay in Thailand because the mom doesn't have anything to take care of. He would at least brought his daughter home to be with him.
Yeah.
But
he didn't want that.
If I had the money, I would have done that.
Yeah.
I would have been like, woo.
And I mean, she's a Swedish citizen, the kid, and I mean, but that would mean that you have to take care of the kid almost 24/7 yourself.
That's my daughter.
Yeah, but apparently he's a great father. He calls her every other day. Because that's what fathers do. They call every other day for like 10 minutes. Whoa.
Hey, Annette, I'm not going to come home for a couple of years, but I will call every other day to make sure that you're changing the diapers. Yeah, because that sounds like love, doesn't it? I'm sorry. The guy's just a loser. He's just like...
horrible. Horrible person.
And the fact that he's okay with his daughter being in another country.
By herself.
I mean, he could be taking this time to get to know her.
Yeah. He could take parental leave.
Yeah. I mean, exactly, because this is Sweden, so he gets like paid 6 months paternity leave, so he could actually do his part already.
Yeah.
He could be those 6 months. He could have had the daughter at home.
Yeah.
The mom could go out and get a job and get herself set up now that she's no longer going to be with non-committal loser boy, and then like there's so many other ways that this could have worked
out better.
That would have been better for the child
Yeah.
if he was so interested in someone else other than himself in his little head.
Mm-hmm.
He's just following the little head. And you know what happens when guys follow the little head? They get dumber than when they follow the big head. They're just telling you. I'm a guy. I know how it is. When you make those kind of decisions because you're not listening to your brain, you're listening just to the thing down there, you guys are stupid, okay? We got two brains. One of them is a stupid brain.
Don't follow the stupid brain.
And when we listen to the stupid brain, we do stupid things. Like, I don't know, it just seemed okay that now that, another lady shows up with two babies, I'm like, oh, that seems like a better deal. Two instead of one. Wow. Yeah.
I was thinking I hear about this story sometimes. Also, like that one woman snatches the other man's woman, and then people are always like, "Oh, but isn't it like the man's choice and the man made the decision?" And I think
People
it's
think like that? Wow.
yeah, like they say like on one hand it's like, "Oh, but now you're blaming another woman. You're blaming the other woman
Yes.
taking him,
Yes.
and you're just." Saying that he's just a brainless puppet who can't make decisions of himself.
No. His wrong was that he listened to the other woman.
Yeah.
Her wrong is she's taken somebody else's man. It's two bad people doing bad things.
Yeah.
Both should be double slapped.
In the face.
I feel like I need to
I just feel like that.
walk down the street and start slapping people.
I just feel like, I think it's like so disloyal towards all women in the world to do that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand how you can do this. How can you sleep at night? How can you sleep at night doing this? How can you sleep with that guy knowing that he ditched a pregnant lady he made pregnant?
'Cause
So
he's a guy.
he will do the same thing to you, most probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
But he's a guy. Guys can make decisions without feelings. We just like, oh, I feel bad
No,
about
but
that.
that woman.
Put that into a box.
And-
That's how he goes to sleep at night. The
But I
other-
mean her.
Which one? The
lady.
The stealer. Okay. So
How can she sleep at night?
No, because
next
she-
to this guy.
because she's going like that. But that's how he did to her. He's not going to do that to me.
Oh my gosh.
Because people think stupid stuff like that. They're like, well, I mean, if the guy I like is a vampire and he sucks other people's blood, he won't suck mine. I'm like, whoa, are you stupid?
Apparently.
If Jack the Ripper just gets people who are working out on the street, I mean, he's okay when we're together. Okay, whatever. Yeah,
It's like these wild animals. They are nice until their instincts kick in.
Yeah, really. They're nice until I just happen to take a piece of meat and put it on my forehead. And he just starts biting on my brain. Okay.
I know.
This is one of our upset episodes where we just need to rant and rave. If you're out there and you have
A situation.
a situation
You want
where-
us to react on.
where you're together with someone who is just a deadbeat, a loser, uninterested, non-committal, doesn't do their part, the list goes on. Please let us know. Share your story with us and let us react. And then you can just say, you know what? I was listening to this podcast. Click. There you go. We will help you solve. We'll help you get the conversation going.
Mm-hmm.
Address the elephant in the room. And if you want us to name names, just let us know.
Yeah.
We'll name names. We're not afraid.
No, we're not afraid.
No.
If nothing to be afraid of.
Exactly.
We were talking about how we grew up in the ghettos and
Yeah.
not afraid on that.
Exactly. We've had such a rough, tough life. So we're like, I mean, nothing scares us, you know? It's like, I look at death in the face and we just go, ha, ha, ha. Hey, death. See you again.
So thank you guys for listening. I hope you understood how we were thinking and
Yeah. And
got upset.
And if not,
like
let
us.
us know. Please write to us. You can make comments about how you just like, you guys are so immature.
No, we're not immature. This was really upsetting.
Exactly. You were upset. I was upset.
Yeah.
And if you can't deal with our feelings, well, you just keep clicking that like button.
And subscribe.
Get other people to come in so they can listen too. So you guys can have a party like, I just hate those people.
But I actually
Keep listening.
really love when you guys send in this kind of stories, this kind of questions. So
Yeah.
we're really interested in you guys sharing
like
your
it.
life with us.
We like your dirt.
So thank you guys for listening.
Thank you very much. Have fun, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you for listening. If you have any comments or ideas, please send us a message to fikaforlife@mail.com. Fika, F-I-K-A. This was the Fika for Life podcast with Lin Nguyen and Edward Thomas, and we hope to hear you again.